All right, now that you're back, yeah, you were where we last left off. You were swinging and swinging at that rock door wall thing to no avail. Uh, Doped up on unknown mushrooms. Uh, yeah, that's about a good recap.
All right.
So yeah, your torch is there on the ground. You're yeah, that's what you're doing, or that's what you were doing. What's
Right.
going on now?
Um, can I make a perception check to see why I haven't gotten anywhere?
Yeah, and you don't even you don't have to do it with disadvantage on this one either. You can
Well,
do regular roll.
apparently it didn't matter.
Oh no, that's yeah. So you notice that you've seen that kind of that lamp glowing there, which again you assumed has magical properties of some kind. Not that
Oh yeah.
the lamp is of any relevancy here, but you kind of got a sneaking suspicion that you don't think you're going to be able to get through this with brute force of any kind. And then you
I gotcha. Can I roll Arcana?
you can.
See if there's maybe a magical, like a glyph or something.
Yeah, yeah, you do that. Yeah, so kind of put your hands on the wall and feel, and you're looking for magical stuff, and you don't quite think that that has gotten anything there. You don't feel any ruins or notice any holes or anything, but you do remember that you have two sealed clay jars with fuses on them.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Do it.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna eat a mushroom and then I'm gonna light those fuckers and run away.
Okay, yeah, let's see. Uh, we need yep,
Like,
survival. Okay, yep. So you eat the mushrooms. You're just as yeah. You're like a gravel road, man. You're just stoned. You set. Did you set them both down or just one?
oh, let's go big or go home.
Yeah.
It's
Okay, I
Fourth
feel
of
that.
July.
I feel that.
Yeah,
All right. So you set the two clay deals next to each other, and yeah, you take your torch. You light them
I light
both.
one.
Yeah. Oh, just one?
You use that one to light the other one, and grab the torch and run away. Right?
Yep, yep, yep. You do that. The you kind of get to a safe distance. Again, that the kind of scene that you had of the wicks were kind of real slow burning or whatever, you know. So you were never in any imminent danger, but yeah, you so yeah, the the fuses go off slowly, and you hear a tremendous explosion. The cavern
Do
is
I get the
shaking.
napkin on and real? I grab the fucking thing instead of the torch.
Grab the what?
Yeah, I grab the bomb instead of the torch.
Wait, what did you do?
Never mind.
Oh, but yeah, no. So yeah, the explosion just rocks that stone door, blowing it to smithereens. In the ensuing explosion, you notice that you could sense like a cave in somewhere else down in this little cavern well. There's you know what I mean. You heard some secondary effects from the primary blast.
Oh, like like further away
Yep,
or up above.
kind of from where you originally started. You suspect.
Okay. Well, I assume it's probably pretty dusty and shit, right where I just blew the door open.
Absolutely. Yep, it's just a messy cloud of dust that's like choky and you can't see through it. I mean, you know what's there because you know you had your light out and you see it, but you can't see none of that right now. at all.
Right. So I'm gonna eat another mushroom, and I'm gonna take a walk back to where I came down to the first shaft, where I came down the well.
All right, yep. So you nibble on the mushroom as you're frolicking, splashing in the puddles. You
I'm gonna think about what the fuck I'm doing down here in the first place. Like, how
you
did we get here?
you remember you got down here because you were walking home from a previous adventure. You decided to take a shortcut through a grassy field, and you come upon the well. You decided to
Uh,
investigate, being
hmm,
the endeavorous and explorer adventurer that you are.
what a fucking weirdo. Who the fuck just jumps down a well?
Hey man, I'm not judging you one bit. So yeah, so you kind of walk by where you picked up those clay jars. You mosey past the the little mushroom grow area.
Oh,
You,
can I look for more of those clay jars?
yeah, you grabbed the only two that were there. Everything else there is just
Oh,
random nonsense that's of no use, value, or help.
gotcha.
But yep. So you come up onto where that body was initially, and you now realize what that was. The rocks had collapsed in entrance, and now you can tell that the water is slowly starting to get a little bit deeper every moment.
Okay,
As if like the caverns drainage whatever has been now blocked.
I see, I see. Um, so the walls are closing in on me.
Well, not necessarily the
Um,
walls, but like I said, you're kind of standing at number 5 there, where you kind of come in and
I'm missing.
kind of going to where number 6 is. You notice like that whole thing has collapsed, so you can't get into 6 area.
Okay. All right. Is there any other like way to go?
Well, I mean, again, I would imagine that dust by the time you would get back there would be starting to settle.
Okay. I'm gonna eat another mushroom.
Eat another mushroom as you walk back over there. All right, as you do
Yeah.
that, you you hear some more laughing and splashing, and this time you're fairly sure it was not your imagination or hallucination. You
Okay, I'm gonna go towards that, obviously.
All right, so you kind of go west from where that number 5 ruin is into that little hallway, and you
Gotcha.
instantly see a few more goblins there that were kind of hiding. You see the doped up one from the first encounter, and he's still kind of doped up, but you know what I mean. He's definitely a threat now. Along with he's got 2 bigger goblin friends with him that look much more meaner and menacinger.
Okay.
And while all this is happening, again, that cave entrance has or whatever, not the entrance, but whatever, the drainage for the water has collapsed. So again, what was ankle to knee deep water is now about thigh high. Yeah, your elf balls are kind of getting wet, and it's rising
Oh.
steadily.
Okay. I am going to run away.
All right, as you try
Well,
to.
actually, no. I'm gonna eat a mushroom in front of them while smiling like an asshole, and then run away.
Damn it. Um, Damn it. You kind of fucked me there. No, not really. Okay, no, we can have some fun with this. So, I don't even know what I'd have you roll here. Roll, fuck it. Give me a nature roll with no disadvantage. All right, so yeah, you see, you grab your last remaining mushroom out of the bag. You look at it in your hand. You look at the one little doped up goblin and his 2 big goblin counterparts, who have now seen you pull out this mushroom and have kind of not necessarily like stop chasing you, but they kind of paused, like, what's going on? What's he gonna do with that mushroom? They watch you take a bite of it, and they instantly start, not necessarily cheer, but like whatever goblins do when they're super happy. Uh, you kind of feel like they're not a threat. Like
Huh.
you've somehow shared some transcendent experience with some cave goblins.
These
Uh,
motherfuckers are hanging mushrooms too, aren't they?
well, I mean, it is what it is. Again, while you're doing that, this water that was now kind of tickling your balls is up to your belly button. And
Yeah,
again, same for these
I'm gonna
other.
motion for them to follow me. Like, come on,
Okay, so yeah, you do that. Let's hold on here.
and go back towards two.
Yeah, you motion, and they're kind of not right behind you because they're still goblins and they're a little sketchy, but they've definitely got a feeling that, like, this guy might not be an immediate threat compared to this water that we might all drown in, and hey, he's eating the same mushroom as we are. So yeah, they kind of give you the little rah 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 rah, and they start following.
All right.
As you guys are kind of going by this that first initial cave where the two mushroom goblins were, you notice just the small one runs in there and he doesn't come out. The other two big goblins are still in tow behind you as you run by number 3. As
Okay.
you
How are they looking at me? Like,
again, they're kind of it's not really a fight or flight right now. It's kind of, you guys realize that if something doesn't happen quick, you're gonna drown because now at this point the water's kind of chestish high. Again, this
okay,
cavern's drainage is blocked. This thing's filling up. It's
I'm
gonna be
gonna
a
pull out my
proper well
rope.
again.
I'm gonna toss them an end, and I'm gonna grab an end, and I'm gonna lead them towards the stairway there.
You toss them a what?
The end of a rope.
No, you don't have a rope. Remember, your rope's hanging from the number 1 thing. You use that to rappel
Oh,
down.
no, shit, you're right.
But remember, there's kind of stairs there, so that's not, you
Yeah,
don't need to be a rocket scientist to know how to run stairs.
right. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna go up the stairs, and I want to make sure they get out of the water okay.
All right, yeah. So you kind of get up by the door where you use your pyrotechnic alchemy magic explosive jars. You kind of wave your arms, because again, you kind of climbed up on a little bit of stairs, so you're not quite neck deep in water. And yeah, those two other goblins kind of see it and they stop and take pause. You kind of wonder why, and then you realize, like, one of them is not, like, he's like shouting kind of, and you know, obviously you don't speak goblin, but you kind of feel like he's calling out for his friend, and he's not coming, and you don't know
Oh,
why.
back to the little guy.
Yeah, the initial stoned goblin. He ran. Remember, you guys were coming, and now he kind of. They were all follow. You guys were all following, or they were all following you, and then yeah, you had seen that little goblin run into the little mushroom cave there, and again he hasn't reemerged, and you kind of get the sense that the two other goblins are kind of concerned.
Oh, well, I am going to try to stride right by them back to that little cave, and yeah, see if I can find them. I know the
Okay.
water's getting high, so
Yep.
I'm not gonna push myself here.
All right, yeah. So again, yeah, at this point now you kind of climbed down from the few stairs there, and yeah, this water's now neck deep. You being roughly the same height as the smallest goblin there, you're having trouble kind of passing through this water yourself. I mean, you're basically fucking swimming at this point, right? Those other two
Right.
goblins cautiously let you go by them. You sense as you pass them that they're incredibly distraught. Uh, and so yeah, you finagle your way through this cave of of water and mustiness, and you come up to the number 4 cave. Sorry, I don't remember the fucking name of it. The fungus cave, whatever.
Yeah.
And you can't sense where that little goblin is. Go ahead and roll perception, please. Disadvantage, of course.
Perception, disadvantage.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep, disadvantage.
There you go.
Yep. So you try to use what human-ish elf words you have to try to make your presence known in such a tone of voice to soothe any fears of any goblin mistrust. And sadly, you're not seeing anything. You're not hearing anything.
Can I is there any kind of like dirt or grass or gravel or
At this
dust?
point, you're in this water's neck deep. It's muddy. It's murky. You're about you could about put your hand on like the ceiling now, because again you're fully swimming. This is happening rapidly. You know what I mean? It's not a biblical flood of Noah, but like this cavern's filling up. So
Right.
there's no ground to see. There's no gravel. There's no rocks. It's murky
Well,
mud.
a whirlpool somewhere. I know there's another exit to this cave.
You got
The
the
rat
sense
went out.
you got the sense after hearing the explosion and witnessing the secondary effects that there's only one way out.
Okay, I'm gonna try to make my way back towards the stairs. So I don't see like a body or anything.
Well, so after not noticing or hollering and getting any response, you kind of, as you start kind of swimming out, you kind of feel something float up against you. Sadly, it was the stone goblin. He had drowned, trying to save the last of the mushrooms. Um,
Does he have the mushrooms on him?
Nothing that you can tell right now, because again, you're doggy paddling for dear life here. You kind of got this goblin kind of float some next to you, and you're kind of dragging him. You know, you're trying to, at this
Okay.
point, you're trying to get the fuck out because you know the end is very near, and you don't want to die
Right.
in this cavern, in this dungeon
Yeah.
tunnel.
I'm gonna try to bring him with me.
Yep. So you do that. You let me get my map up. So you race for dear life. You get to the stairs leading up to the door that you had cracked open, just barely. Just barely. You're out of breath, you're soaking, you're tired, you're fucking stoned. And the two other goblins, the big ones, are nowhere in sight.
Oh shit.
Is it assumed you kind of go up and ignore the fact that says to the wine cellar?
Right. Well, first I'm gonna see what that little goblin had on him.
Well, again, you're at the door and the cavern's filling up. You exiting out of here, or are you gonna try to fuck around and drown?
No, I'll definitely exit out.
Okay, yeah, and you're kind of dragging the body with you, right? So you can
Yeah.
search them when you get to safety or a more safer, secure area.
Right.
All right, so yeah, you do that. You exhaust. You were just exasperatedly exhausted. You're at the end of it. You're tired. You've made it through the opening here. You see some light at the end of a tunnel, and it's quite a bit of ways away from the opening. It's coming out of a little cave nestled in a hill, a good ways away from the opening where you initially started. As you get up there, you collapse to the ground with the goblin, and you see to your surprise the two bigger goblins looking very, very angry and distraught, like you have never seen a fucking goblin in your life. And again, these are some corn-fed goblins. These are some elite fucking goblin kind of warrior looking things.
I'm gonna try CPR on the little goblin.
So you fully understand like the state you're in, right? Like
Yeah.
you're fucking like next to not dead because you know got all your HP, but like you realize
Right.
that you don't have a snowball's chance in
Exhaustion.
hell at fighting these guys in your current state.
Right.
So you start doing CPR on the goblin. Roll. You know what? I'm gonna make you do. I want you to roll in a very specific order, all of them with no disadvantage. These will all be normal rolls.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead and give me an animal handling roll. Okay. Now I want a medicine roll. Nice. And now a persuasion roll.
Persuade.
Oh, fuck. I was rooting for you there. Not to break immersion, but I was really fucking rooting for you there because that was going to be the critical one. So yeah, you not familiar with a great deal of goblin anatomy. You start fucking just beating on his chest, trying to give him CPR, and these other goblins go from just absolute fuck furious to just a whole transcendent new level of fucking anger, thus the which the world has yet to see. But in doing so, you're kind of like checking pulses and whatnot, so they're kind of like, wait a minute, what's going on? And sadly, your attempts at resuscitating the poor goblin have failed. You're on your knees. You know you're at
What about lay on hands? Can I give him some hit point?
Do you have any feats or potions or any shit like that?
Yeah,
Spells
lay
or
on
something?
hand.
Wait, what'd you say? Lay hands? Is that like a
Lay on hands. That's the paladin fucking healing.
what's it? You'll have to refresh me. What's it do?
I can give him a number of hit points up to something. Hold on, let me. Paladin. Lay on hands. Your blessed touch can heal wounds. You have a pool of healing power that replenishes when you take a long rest. With that pool, you can restore a total number of hit points equal to your paladin level times 5.
Interesting. I don't see quite how that would apply in this specific area, but of course I'm obtuse. But I like where your head's at and where your heart's at, so we're going to allow it. You put some healing hands on him. Roll.
I'm gonna give him 5.
What?
I'm gonna give him 5 hit points. That leaves me with 10.
Oh, so this is kind of like a life essence transfer kind of spell?
Well, it's a cure. Can heal wounds. So unless he's like all the way dead, like if he's all the way dead, I can't really do anything. But
so
if he's just unconscious, then I can give him hip.
So here's why I had you do the 3 rolls, because those are his 3 death saves. Not to break immersion for you, but like yeah, he's got
okay, he's
2.
dead.
No, he's not dead. He got the 2 death saves. Or wait, no, anyway, no, we're making up as we go. So yeah, no. Let me think here just for a moment.
Right.
Okay, yeah, no. So you're screaming out. You're banging on his chest. Why, damn it, why? You know, because you're high as shit. He's one of your people now. Yeah, you put hands on him. And the other 2 orcs, are they orcs? No, they're goblins. The other 2 big fuck off goblins that play rugby are like, what the hell? You know, they kind of changed their tone. They see that you kind of actually care. And 2 to your surprise, and more importantly to theirs, the goblin coughs up a fucking half a river of water. You can't fucking believe it. I mean, you're next to dead yourself here, and here this little fucky goblin boy is he's fucking breathing. You know, he's hurting for certain, just like you are. But yeah, you see the tone of the two other goblins are just ecstatic now, as if you had saved a family member of theirs, someone near and dear to them.
Hey, that's why we do this.
That's, you know, it's for the boys. The two big goblins are standing over you and their partially fallen comrade, and you're thinking, fuck, now what? The goblin on the right side picks up his fallen brethren and cradles them, kind of, you know, swoops them up in a save the princess kind of manner deal, and starts walking off. The other goblin, on the other hand, stands over you in judgment, not knowing what you are or what he should do. He's never been put in this position, and nor have you. You've in all your years of traveling the realm, you've never encountered such unclarity, and you can't tell, is it because you're exhausted next to death, or if you're high, if you're hallucinating, or what. Roll. Nope, it's my turn to roll. I love it. The goblin got his hands to his side, you know, doing that looking down judgy thing, and he puts his one hand up on his chin, doing the deep thinking thing, and without a second's thought, he kneels down, he pulls out a piece of paper.
What?
Well, no, ick. He pulls out what appears to be some parchment or paper of some kind and a quill. He scribbles some stuff down. He lays it on your chest, because you know you're kind of on your back looking up at him, or on your side or whatever. He kind of lays it there next to you, and he pulls with his other hand out another purse pouch satchel, sets it down next to it. He backs away very cautiously, turns around and starts walking away. He gets, let's just call it 10-15 feet away. He turns one last time, you catch his eye, and he gives you a very deep and ingratiating nod, and he disappears. As you kind of rest there for a minute, thanking whatever gods have looked over you thus far, and catch your breath, you roll over and grab the note. You say, "Thank you for saving the Goblin Prince, the last of his kind, the first of his name," so on and so forth. And you see at the end, I have left you with a gift. So you open up the pouch, and there are 3 magic mushrooms and a 4th mushroom that you suspect what kind of looks like a forever growing mushroom seed.
I'm gonna eat them all.
No, and you eat them all. And congratulations, that's the end of our made-up dungeon story. I hope you had fun, because man, bro, that was kind of fun for me, maybe being able to fucking make it up as I go. So, yeah, thoughts, comments? Not your typical game, I'm guessing.
No, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna
again,
eat all the mushrooms. I'm me. Come on.
yep.
I may be playing a character and all, but yeah, I'm still me.
Nice. Yeah, so again, as I started reading like the shit for this dungeon, and I'm
You
like,
put mushrooms there? Are you serious?
well, yeah, I mean, who wouldn't? So, okay, so basically, here, I'll give you the full PDF thing so you can read it in your own time or whatever. But yeah, that's the one where we were going off of, right? And like obviously, if you pull it up and you read it, like there's a whole bunch of shit going on here that quite literally had nothing to do with anybody. So yeah, basically starting off with this, I didn't know what the fuck we were gonna do, right? So like the body was there, that I took inspiration from that, and then I just guessed, you know, the rats popping out. I thought that'd be a little cool jump scare. Then yeah, pretty much like you go to number 4, it says in the thing that there's some goblins there, and they want to.
You know what's important here is like the combat was a very small part of it.
Yeah, I did not want this.
Got by on diplomacy and ended up saving a fucking goblin prince, and I got more mushrooms out of it.
Right, and not only more mushrooms.
Now I can continue my journey home after my fucking last adventure.
Right, and now you got a story to share
probably
with.
Fucking alcohol fueled.
Yep, and like again, those 3 mushrooms are like the edible ones you were picking, but like that 4th special one was kind of like it was like the great. Like if it was marijuana, like that was the high time strain of the year. Fucking like that's the bee's knees right there, my man. So like yeah, it's got no reward for you now or for any time soon, but you know what I mean. Like they wouldn't have given that to you if they didn't appreciate it. But yeah,
right.
no, I did not want combat to be a big thing in this at all, because I always feel like in a small dungeon kind of grinder like this, it's more I don't have the words.
I mean, if there's at least one other person, then I mean it would be okay to make it all murder hobo fucking.
Yo, yeah, I definitely would have ramped it up quite a bit. And honestly, again, because I was making this up as I go, and I was kind of keeping a metadata level of fairness in my own head. Like, depending upon some of your dice rolls, specifically towards the end where you notice those 3 goblins had shit turned out a little differently on your rolls, you'd have been fighting goblins, big fuckers, and you wouldn't have survived it. I'd have made sure of that. You would not have survived. But because you decided not to fucking murder hobo it, and I kind of feel bad, I don't know if I kind of like forced your hand in my description and
No. I was stuck on my.
But,
of course, I'm not going to be a murder hobo. I'm going to be like, hey, you must have some mushrooms.
and again, not only that, but like you were in danger multiple times in that because you know, had you decided to just run away and not go back for the goblin, I would have made sure that those 2 other goblins caught you and pounded the piss out of you.
Right.
Had you have not dragged that body back and emerged by yourself, I would have had those 2 goblins pound the fucking ever living piss out of you. So like you literally like did the only outcome that I was kind of like made in my head, that like the fucking good guys all, you know, I'm running out of words here, but yeah, no, you did good, man. I'm super glad you didn't fucking try to murder hobo. And again, yeah, looking at all this shit, like again, I was quick and loose with the fucking rules, with the lore, with all the things. So again, as long as you had fun, dude, I appreciate you fucking dragging me along with, because I was typing with Kyle while you were getting your phone sorted. I'm like, I can see the perverse pleasure you have in doing this.
That shit's funny. But, yeah, no, it's good practice too.
Yeah, and again, I don't think I learned anything other than really I wanted to tell a story, but I wanted it to not only be my story but your story as well. So again, did we kind of even come close to that in your opinion? Because I kind of think we did.
I think the story that we told was that my character likes to get high as fuck on mushrooms, and he's just he's a paladin hippie. Obviously.
Right on. Yeah. He's not looking to, you know, he's not chaotic evil or lawful evil or none of that shit. He's just, stumbled down a well to check out what's going on. Seen some.
I call that true neutral. He's just like, yeah, whatever, man.
Okay. Yeah. No, that works. And yeah, there was a couple different
I didn't
ways
know.
I
I
was
didn't know
gonna.
that about him until he ate the first mushroom, and then
So
I was like, "Well, better eat another mushroom."
I didn't do a lot of reading in this, but the reading I did do, again, I made that shit up. I was just like, I don't. I was gonna fucking about kill you with the mushrooms, but I'm like, no, that's too easy. And then I'm like, no, let's just get them all doped up. And then the fact like you ate that white and black one that I made up or whatever, I'm like, okay, well, we'll calm them effects down, and like anything after that was kind of when you like you yeah. So yeah, again, there
So
was
the only thing I might have done different as a DM is like when he realized that I'm not going to stop eating the mushrooms, maybe either make like hallucinations or something, like more hallucinations, or even I don't know, maybe give like a plus to something fucking unimportant, like you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
So I was
like,
gonna go down
like
that
maybe a
road.
+5 to fucking perception or some shit, or plus or not even perception because that's too useful, but like maybe all of a sudden you're very good with persuasion or religion or something. That's probably
Oh,
what I would
okay.
have went with
Yeah.
religion.
Yeah. No, I did. I kind of thought about going down that route, but I'm just like I was juggling a few too many things in my head to keep track. But the one thing I did, like if you didn't pick up on that, was you heard the little scurries of footsteps, trottling and giggling laughter. You were definitely hallucinating in that. So if like you would have
Right.
decided to go chasing after that shit, you know what I mean, before the explosion, like let's
Oh
say you
yeah.
would have went to number 6, like yeah, there'd have been a little bit more adventure there. But because I was like, well, he's pretty much explored all the map and he didn't go up towards the number 6 thing right away,
Yeah.
which I don't
What
know.
was it?
Not a clue. Here, let's read it. This chamber looks like it was fully underwater until recently. Inside there stand 3 statues. One of a lich figure, one of a elegant female mage, one broken statue of a robed mage, and an altar. A set of gleaming golden balancers sit on the altar. The scale balances spiritual forces, but for some reason are currently tipped one way, even though nothing lies upon them. That's all it says. So, like, yeah,
Huh.
make your own adventure right there.
Gotcha.
And yeah, as far as
I,
like
I
loot
would I
whoring,
would have touched the
yeah.
female
Oh, what?
mage's boob.
What's that?
I said I would have touched the female mage's boob.
Well, I'd have made that scale tip a little bit, I guess. I don't know. Again, we didn't get that far, so I didn't even read it. Um,
Right.
but like, yeah,
Oh,
that initial like amulet thing, like loot whoring or not, no one was getting any loot out of this, and even if you did, nothing of it would have been useful. That's why I was like, you pulled
right.
the arm and then you dropped it. I'm like, ooh, I won't lie, I was kind of happy and impressed with myself that I come up with that idea because yeah, you described a fucking shining amulet. You know, you kind of have a certain expectation as a player, and yeah, you fucking pull the thing off, the rats jump out, cloud of miasma. Suddenly, that fucking amulet isn't so important, is it?
Right. Oh yeah, I forgot all about that. Also.
But that's the beauty of it because that's kind of what I wanted. Not necessarily wanted you to forget about it, but I was kind of like, there's nothing magical or special. There's no items in here that would have been of any use again, other than those explodey things. And
Right.
on that note,
Well, I mean, I think the mushrooms were of good use.
yeah. So what's it say here? So number 4, this cave is full of fungi. Perceptive characters may note it was flooded recently and indicated by deposited sediment. After they see the 3 goblin laborers from a dubious tribe nearby, looking very sick and stumbling around in apparent trance. After a minute or so, they become aware of characters and attack with picks. The mushrooms in this chamber are edible and have a fruity scent. So again, I just ran with it. I didn't want to have a combat, so I'm like, well, 3's a crowd. 3 to me seems like murder hobo on the goblin end of things, but 2
Right.
walking around in a fucking daze, you know what I mean? Like I thought that was, you know,
Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely doable. Like, I probably could have took on 3 only because I'm level 3.
Yeah, and again, that's where I'm out of my depth, and that's why I was like, I'm not trying to look up stats and ACs and shit. I'm just like looking at your rolls, and I'm like, I guess more for the one goblin that you killed and the rat. The goblin that you killed, um, he was like the bodyguard for that prince thing that I had just made up. So yeah, no real
Oh,
worries.
nice, nice.
But yeah, so according to this thing, number 2, it says rough stone steps clearly recently dug down, right? So like there was no stone door there. I was just like, fuck, he picked up those clay pots, and I do want to see them explode, but how can we do that? And I'm like, well, let's give them a fucking door to explode on, and yeah. I liked how you decided to try to go pickaxe on them, and I'm like, nope, that ain't happening. I want to see explosions.
Well, it was there.
But yeah, like looking through it, I don't. Again, this you're seeing the same thing I am, so I don't know what the fuck any of this is about. I guess that's the beauty of it, though. It doesn't have to be about anything.
Right.
Yeah. So, nah, man. Glad you had
Yeah,
fun. I know I had a ball, fucking, and I honestly might do a little bit more reading and looking into this and doing a few more one-offs. Fucking.
Yeah, I might I've run the starter set before. I might try that one of these days.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right. I'm gonna stop recording here. Thank you,
All right.
gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, for watching part 2.